Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, and I'm just with
Nick Durham from Nima Studios.
If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know that we've been collaborating on a lot of stuff over the last year. So if we take it all the way back to March of 2019, still this year, you just released Duck Boy. You had were they prototypes at that time?
They were the 3D renders that we had at Toy-Con this year, yeah, which is the first time we revealed those.
You had some 3D renders at that time of Duck Boy, which is the first figure that we designed. Then we went to Toy Art, and then you had the actual vinyl ones there. You had some samples.
That's right. Yeah, we had the samples of the vinyl pieces there. There's been a few changes to the card art and stuff like that in the interim, but yeah, that was the first time we showed those off.
And then a couple of months ago, we revealed the Deflatron figure, which is like our big new release, but that is also at the time was just a 3D print. It wasn't the final version. It had a quick paint job and stuff. It was just so we could see the size and stuff.
He didn't even have articulation in the arms and head.
No. So what we've got today is the full final run of how everything's looking. So it's an all figured art. It's a show and tell, but they're not vintage figures. They're the fucking newest figures that we've ever had on, because these are literally the only ones that exist right now. The first crate has just turned up, hasn't it, of Duck Boy?
That's right.
So if we take it all the way back to the first thing that we designed when we first started working together, it was Duck Boy. That was the first thing we looked at. So let's take that one first, Nick.
Right.
We'll work in order.
We'll work in order. So basically, we started this actually in late 2018, didn't we? We started working on this.
Oh, was that when it was? Yeah, late 2018. Yeah.
We got the prototypes for this in. So we showed these off for the first time at Toy-Con, as you say, in March of this year. This is the full vinyl version.
Yeah, so at the time it was a 3D print, and now it's actually vinyl.
3D print. He's a full-on vinyl toy now. He's been tooled. That is the full colour version. The full colour version is coming in kind of mid 2020, kind of spring 2020 time. What we've just released, though, is this. This is what we call Duck Boy Wave Zero.
So these are the pure white ones. Just talk a bit about why this is blank and what this card art's all about and that kind of thing.
We wanted to do it where essentially we decided let's do a wave of them where we do them as a super limited run. And when I say super limited, it's like 20 pieces of each.
Yeah.
Do them as a super limited run in your kind of white pre-painted, almost prototype test shop colours. Yeah. And then kind of do the card art where each one has, it's almost like layout of where things would go on the actual card itself. And then you turn it round and we've got black and white images on the back, which is more of a kind of you'd have full colour images, you'd have full colours of the toys when they were going to full production, but this is more of a kind of a prototype version.
Well, this is effectively when I was designing the artwork and stuff, I'd send you like a very rough sketch like that.
Yes.
Like, right, this is it, as about the title there, you can write the rest of the text on there, because you do all the text on these.
We do the layouts,
I do the drawing, and then Nick does all the text. So yeah, we've effectively got what is like an artist blank, so you can paint this one yourself.
Exactly, yeah, it's an artist blank. And I'd say from Duck Boy, because we released 4 figures in that line, we went to the second one that we did, which was Noxter.
Yeah.
So Noxter, again, if you're interested in where the characters have come from and you're looking at how the characters come into existence or whatever, go check out the interview that we did at Toy-Con.
Yeah, we did an interview at Toy-Con. I'll link it at the end of this video.
There's all that information on there. But she's the femme fatale. She's the gangster. That again is the full vinyl
she's like
version.
a mole, isn't she?
She is. She's the full version of the. She came out fantastic. I'm so pleased.
Very smooth, and they've got. I love this touch. I know it's only little, but you've got the Nima Toys 2019 made in China on the back, like imprint in the head. That's the little things that make it feel like a proper toy.
Yeah.
And if you're a bit confused about what vinyl is, because vinyl is like the most legit kind of toy you can make, isn't it? This feels like a Funko Pop. If you've ever had a Funko Pop, it's that kind of like hollow vinyl. It's a legit toy, and to make these is not a cheap and it's not an easy process. No. There's only a few places in the world that do this, isn't it?
There is.
And Hong Kong is one of them. Is it Hong Kong in China?
Ours is in. Is actually in, I think it's in one of the manufacturing districts in China.
Yeah.
But
there's a reason most toys say made in China on the bottom, aren't they? Yeah, because
absolutely.
they're the only people that do it.
I'm not going to say who else makes toys at our factory, because there's some rather famous people who do make toys at our factory, but the quality.
And we're not here to promote them.
No, absolutely not. No, definitely not. But the quality does shine through on what we're doing.
Yeah.
But in the same vein that we did Noxter, and she came out great. We did the same with Wave Zero. So there's a Wave Zero version of Noxter. She's in the pink rather than the orange on the card. She, again, it might look from here like it's the same scribble. It's not. Each scribble on the card is different. Each layout is different. You've all got little kind of weird details and stuff that are in there that are unique to it. The back is the same, but you know,
they are on most toys. Yeah,
exactly.
So that's another one that we did. So the paint ones are coming eventually, but the first line that's dropped is the Wave Zero.
Wave Zero are online. They're available now at NemaStudios.com, and you can look out kind of late spring, early summer for the painted versions.
So who's next? These next two are my favourites from this line.
Right. So the next one we did was Flightless. Flightless was the mechanized Emperor Penguin Bounty Hunter. Again, when I gave this design to Theo, I won't say what he said back, but you were happy, weren't you?
With what?
With the mock-up that I gave you of this, and you were happy. He was like, yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, because what Nick will basically do is do me like a rough knock-up, like mashed together artwork and pictures, and then you'll say, I need this like redesigned and into a toy. So whenever I get anything that's like crazy, I'm like, yeah, man, I'll go to town with this, and I can make it sick, and that's what we came up with. Yeah, Flightless.
We wanted to go full Ninja Turtles, full Bounty Hunter, didn't we? Full kind of SOFUBI.
Out of this line, this is the one that's the most like an action figure because his arms, his head don't move, does it?
No,
his arms move like an action figure. Well, I mean, because it kind of bridges the line between art toy and action figure. And if out of the first wave of Duck Boy figures, this is the one that's most like an action figure. Yeah, and that's probably why I like it the most. I like things that look like it'll blow a hole in your fucking skull, and that's got
which he certainly will.
And he's got a claw that like he crush someone's face and smash through a wall, which he does in the comic. He blasts through walls.
He blasts through walls.
The ceiling and things. So he's definitely my favourite. So we got a Wave Zero with that guy.
There's a Wave Zero of this one. We did him with the purple to match this. We did him with the purple logo. Again, Wave Zero. Again, different pieces on the card, different artwork.
And I can't wait to paint one of these myself. I want to do like some rusty version of this because the nice thing about these is they're white, so you can keep it white or you can spray it yourself and paint it up. I like to do modelling and painting because I did Warhammer for all these years and stuff. I like to paint stuff and do props, and I'm gonna go to town when I get to do one of these. I can't wait to do myself.
We're gonna be sorting him out with that. Don't worry, that's gonna be happening.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna drill holes in it and make it rusty and put graffiti on it.
He didn't tell me about that.
It's gonna be sick. So it looks like rusty. That's like weathered rust. Post-apocalyptic Flightless. It's going to be wicked. I can't wait to do that one. So yeah, just giving you ideas for if you get one and you want to paint it yourself. You need to get one,
but as I say, there's only 20 pieces of these.
Yeah, so there's only 20 pieces of each. That's right.
Even less now because these are staying here. The fourth one is the Assassin, which was, I think this is probably the closest to a TMNT thing that we kind of did. We wanted to do a figure that was real kind of TMNT inspired, could sit next to your TMNT, was still going to be a vinyl toy. And he's awesome. He is. He's very much like he's like a mutant pigeon foot soldier. Is it what kind of bird is it? It's a specific bird. I eventually went with it. I originally was a greenfinch. Because I was like, what's the most non-threatening bird that you can come up with? And that's a greenfinch.
But with him having the green face, that's why it looks like something from TMNT.
It just looks fantastic. And compared to the prototype that we revealed, the prototype looked fantastic. Yeah. But that's just come out incredibly well. Yeah. And I'm
he's awesome. He stands nice. He's got his sword there. And again, this hasn't got articulation, so this is where we're bridging the gap between like what's an art toy and what's an action figure,
what's a vinyl toy, etc., that kind of thing. Again, just to sound like a stuck record, but there's a Wave Zero, and this one's got the green logo, different layout. You can even see some of the spikes on the top of the head where we've traced over, etc. But yeah, different layout, Wave Zero again. So you've got all four are available.
So have a little recap. We've got for that one first of all. We've got.
That's the Assassin.
We've got the Assassin, and we've got Flightless, and it's how different the sizes are because they're in scale to each other. So yeah, look at that.
14 by 10 inch card backs.
Oh yeah, huge card back. We'll talk a bit about that when we get to the next toy. But yes, we've got Flightless. We've got the Assassin.
Yeah.
We've got Noxter, the female gangster Mall Don. She's awesome.
I'll put
that and then the last one is the top boy, the main guy, Duck Boy.
Duck Boy. So these are the first figures to hit the peg from us at Nema Studios. We've been working with Theo on these now for over 12 months. First figure to actually physically be on the peg, on the stand, on the website, where you can literally just go and pull the trigger.
And the nice thing about these is that this is when we realised how well we worked together. Because at first you was just doing one toy, weren't you? You're just doing Duck Boy, just as a one-off. And then it came out so nice, it worked so well that we were like, yeah man, so we did a full wave, and then we're like, what else can we do?
Yeah, we didn't.
Or should we talk about this guy first? Talk about let's talk about
well let's talk about this fella. So this fella before we go full bromance, let's talk about this fella. But this is a collaboration that we've done as a studio with Riker, who is an artist from down south.
Yeah.
And those of you who are in the art toy community, those of you who are into your acid art, that kind of stuff, you'll know Riker because it's very, very unique because of the smiley. There's a lot of dripping smiley art.
He's got a big following, this guy, hasn't he? He's got a big following. I didn't even realise how much of a big following he had until after. When I started doing this, a few people hit me up with like, "Oh, check this artist, I think you'll like him." And I was like, yeah, as it happens, we just work together on a thing.
I knew Riker for a couple of years, and we got talking down in London when we were at a big convention down there earlier this year. And he said, he came to us and said, like, "I'm loving what you guys are doing with your own vinyl toys. I have a character. I want to create that character as a vinyl toy." And we said, okay, well, because I think the thing is with something like a vinyl toy, with something like Theo will back me up on this, with something like a scenario where you're going, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. There doesn't need to be barrier after barrier after barrier and red tape in place. It's a case of, if you want to do something and you work well with people, then just do it and make it happen. There doesn't need to be all the crap that goes with it. Yeah. And with this, it was like, I really want to make this. And we said, okay, let's make it. This was when, obviously, we again, this is where Theo came into this, because Riker wanted to do this. He said, we're going to need to map this out. I came to you with the character and said, we need you to do what you do.
And he'd already sculpted one anyway. He had a resi one that he'd sculpted himself. So it weren't like I've designed a whole new figure. I mapped out an existing toy. Like I did very little of my own artistic licensing with this figure. It's all Riker. Yeah. It's all Riker. But like I said, this is not a cheap process. It's an expensive process. And this is the biggest toy. So straight away, what size is that?
This is 10 inches.
Compared to what?
This is 10 inches compared to... these guys are.
Well, let's look at Flightless. Was the biggest one we've done at
6
that
inch.
6 inch, and look at the size of that. Look at the size difference. Do you know what I mean? This is a big deal. And he'd already got a mock-up, like I said. He'd sculpted his own version before that wasn't 3D, that wasn't vinyl. We talked about how much of an expensive process vinyl is, and it's not an easy thing to get done.
No,
and also dealing with the factory back and forth, that's English is not their first language, having to email and stay up till 4 a.m. to make the time zone work. Not an easy thing, but managed to pull this off, and it's definitely a nice, impressive figure.
It's incredible.
His head comes off.
He's articulated at the arms and at the head.
I love that. I don't know. There's no reason for that to come off. It's just wicked. It just comes off.
But it does. It's really, really cool. But that was just the thing that Riker wanted, where the dome on the helmet could come off. He wanted the indentation on the heart, etc. And I think with something like this, it was one of those toys where it wasn't necessarily something that we would have made ourselves. But having the opportunity to make it with Riker and having the opportunity.
And I love collabing with other artists.
Yeah, exactly. Having the opportunity to collaborate with an artist of his level, having the opportunity to create something like that, which I can sit next to my SOFUBI collection at home and go, look at that. It's incredible.
And it's got this wicked rusty effect on the dirty effect. Sorry, I cut you off then. What were you saying?
Right. But it has that wonderful paint application on it where it looks like it's weathered. It's going to come in collector-friendly packaging. If you follow Riker, you can see what the packaging looks like, where it has a card that slides out the back of a large bubble. It's due out, I think, kind of February time, March time. We're still nailing down when it's going to be coming out, but it's going to be sold exclusively by Riker. Okay, so if you want one of these, and I know that there are variations on this coming, and I'm not going to say what they are.
That's what we're going to say next. Yeah,
there are variations on this. You're going to want those variations. If you like that, you're going to want those variations. And I think it's coming out directly through Riker's platform. We won't be selling it ourselves because we've made it for him. I say guarantee. I never should guarantee anything. I would imagine if you're coming to ToyCon 2020 down in Hammersmith, he's going to have it on the booth there. So you're going to be able to pick that up, and you'll be able to visit us as well. So,
well, I was going to say, like, I don't know if he's doing any more, but judging by what he does, and he's so prolific, that this isn't the last we're going to see of this guy.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, there's more of these coming. This is just the first one. I believe there are 2 variations that are arriving at the same time. But I'm not going to tell you what those are, because that's for him to tell you, and that's for him to show you.
I look forward to seeing them.
Yeah. It's such a cool figure, and it's been such a great privilege and an honor to kind of work with him on it.
And hopefully it'll lead to more collabs with artists in the future.
I hope so. Yes, I hope so. Yeah, absolutely.
So next up, we've got which usually, I say if you follow the channel, you follow what we've been doing, you'll know a little bit about this guy. But I'll let you introduce the one that we've got now.
This is Deathlatron. So again, there is a video on this channel that you can go and check out, and you can talk about where we kind of, but when and where it came from. But we came up with this idea, wouldn't we? Because you were saying to me, I'd love to do something that was like a painting or a poster or something. That was Jason Edmondson style Motu artwork, but it was bootleg.
Yeah, of the knockoff characters.
Knockoff characters.
There's a whole bit, because people don't really get it, but there's like, not everyone gets it, but there's like a whole line of like Holy Grail knockoff He-Man figures that like collectors go mad for, and they're so rare and so sought after, and they've got such a cult following.
Thousands and thousands of dollars if you want one that's carded. So we got talking, the idea developed, didn't it? And we said, right, well, why don't we just make this into a toy? Why don't we, if we're going to redesign it, if we're going to repackage it, if we're going to do something that's completely new and different, why don't we just make this into a new toy, into a new figure?
In our own style, in like a more like chunky modern SOFUBI kind of style, but also got the detail and feels like an action figure, and really bridge the gap between a SOFUBI art toy and an action figure, which they kind of do, the Duck Boy, but this is like this is a prime example of what bridges the two. I
think we between us, we've managed to, working with our factory, we've managed to do something that is really, really unique, because you've ended up with this 8-inch beast of an action figure who literally looks like something that would just lop off a Motu figure's head.
Well, what's also interesting about this is we had pre-orders for guys who collected SOFUBI and had never cared about action figures, and vice versa, people who wanted action figures but had never bought a SOFUBI or a vinyl art. So it did bridge the gap.
It did bridge the gap. It absolutely bridged the gap.
And it's just the beginning. Do you know what I mean?
It is just the beginning. We ended up coming, as I say, when we went to the pre-order, you can see this again on Slimehouse TV, you can see the pre-order video. And we talked about in there where we had the 3D print, and we had everything on there, and there was no articulation. We were asking you to basically come with us on the journey and take a punt.
And use your imagination on stuff like the chest and the armour that weren't translucent.
Exactly. And he had kind of like an iridescent paint application to show you what it was kind of going to look like. This is the full pre-production sample. This is the full toy. You can see that it's got this beautiful articulation. It's not got 1,000,000 points of articulation, but it doesn't need it. It's got this beautiful articulation on the head and the arms. It has this translucent vinyl chest, that's infused with glitter. You can see that it's got this monstrous stance. And he looks amazing.
He's like hunched like a gorilla.
Yeah.
And when I picked it up today, because I'd only ever looked at the 3D one, which did feel like a resin statue. This is a toy. You could throw this around as a kid and it'd be fine. It just feels like it's like any other toy that you'd get. Like before, he was so brittle we couldn't put his gun in his hand because of there were no durability to his fist.
No, it had a very strange thing on the gun where the hilt, the butt of the hilt, you had to literally slide it out and then put the gun in and then slide it back in.
His helmet didn't even properly fit on his head, but now, you can just whack that on and off. And the face is wicked. I love the face. Like again, the 3D print didn't do the sculpt on the face justice, but like looking at that now, like I'm so in love with this toy. This is like not just because we've made it, it's like one of my favourite action figures ever made. Like I don't buy new toys because I just don't. I think that it's because of you can't collect everything. I love vintage stuff, and it's why I love the reaction figures. But like this is to me is like the perfect mix of modern and old toys.
It really has.
And I'm not saying that because we designed it. Like I design shit that I want. I create clothes that I want to wear.
This is the thing. This is the thing. It was kind of like, why, if we're going to make a toy, let's make a toy that we want. If we're going to make a toy, let's create a toy that we are passionate about. Because how can we expect you, as general public, to buy that if we don't care about it?
I'd go nuts for this. And you see, look, it's bendy. It's a toy. It's a toy. It's not a statue anymore. It's a figure.
It's an action figure. It is.
He's got his bad boy shield there.
It has.
Again, that you couldn't really fit his shield on his arm before because it was so brittle.
It would break.
He's ready, man. He's ready.
It is. It's got a wonderful system.
Raid some spaceships.
Yeah. It's got a wonderful system as well with the armor, where if you're looking at the armor and the helmet, and you're thinking, the helmet actually physically locks the armor plate into place. When it goes onto the top of the head and goes on fully, it locks it into place, so it's not going to move, it's not going to rattle around, etc.
I love it, man.
But you can take it off. It's pliable because the armor again is made from vinyl. The toy itself is made from vinyl, but it's not something that's like, it's an art toy, you can't touch it. You can play with this thing. You can have fun with this.
One of my things is I have a massive toy collection, and some of them, like if you knock the shelf a bit, they come crashing down and they break, and like this, I'd drop him off the roof of my house and I'd be confident he would just bounce.
He would bounce.
Yeah, which is I need, because I'm clumsy and I knock my toys over, and I've done it before. I've knocked them over and they've snapped, and I've had to go and buy again off eBay, like one weapon or something, because I can't sleep.
Yeah.
If something's incomplete or broken, but there's no worries with this. Like it's a figure, it's a toy, it's a modern day perfect. With the vibe of the vintage figures, but it's modern and it's not brittle. It's wicked. I love it. I love it so much.
I think we really have, and if we sound like we're quite proud of this, we really are quite proud of this, because I think we've hit something here where we genuinely have created something that we both would want to buy, and we both come from two different backgrounds, but the same background at the same time, and I am so proud of this figure because we set out to create something that was genuinely unique, and we've done it. We've created something that is incredible, and I'm not, again, kind of like resting on my laurels and going, well, I'm done now, because absolutely not, because the carded example you can see over there.
Let's look at the card as well.
Yeah, again, 14 by 10 card back.
Like the Duck Boy.
Like the Duck Boy card.
That's what we're keeping with. We're keeping with that theme of the big boy card.
This big card, yeah.
And I like what you said. It's because like when you're a kid, I don't want to live in a world where I think I'm a kid. Like I don't think I'm a kid, but I like the fact that when you was a kid, you got a toy and it felt huge. You got a He-Man figure as a kid felt that big in your hands.
Yeah.
So it's nice that as an adult you can get one that's like a big chunky. I like big oversized. I like stuff that's outrageous. That's outrageous. That card. Look at the state of that. It's huge.
It is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous.
I love outrageous shit.
Theo did an amazing job with the artwork on this, because that's
my favourite thing I painted all year.
This essentially is the reason why this thing exists. The painting on the back of here is why this exists, isn't it? Because this is what we initially wanted to do in the first place, and it was like, well, what do we use it for? And we've ended up using it as a backing card for an action figure.
Effectively, the original Deflaton figure that this is the original Deflo figure that this is based on had a pretty simple card art. So we went with this. You've used the same kind of text,
yes,
but then a more to Jason Edmonston style painting for the background.
Absolutely. It's got this massive bubble. I can't wait for you guys to physically get this.
Yeah, don't do it justice, because I'd seen photos and then you put them online, but when you see it in person, you're like, rah, this is like a whole new thing.
It is a whole new thing, and as I say, we said in the video that we did as the promo for the pre-order, we said that we were in a situation where we were looking at it and going, you know what, it's going to be new, it's going to be next level, it's going to be different, it's going to be something that we want to continue and want to keep going. We also said in that video, we knew what was coming next, didn't we? Yeah. And everybody's been asking us what, and we can tell you, because there's going to be full details of this going up at the end of January.
We're going to do another video after this, concentrating purely on this guy.
Yeah, there's full details coming up of this at the end of January, because that's when the pre-order goes live. Yeah. Because that's the other thing. We don't want, this is very much a collaboration project, we don't want pre-orders overlapping by months and months and months. We want you to get him, be as blown away by him as we were when we got it through, and then go, I gotta have him.
Yeah.
That's the angle, isn't it? And with this, well, we're gonna do a
stay tuned for the next video to find out about who this guy is, what his name is, what he's about, and where it's going.
Yeah.
So for now, that's all the figures that we've got that are going to be either out. They're out now. The Duck Boy's out now. You can get that now.
You can indeed.
Ricardo will be dropping this real soon.
Yep.
This is pre-order, ready to be delivered real soon.
There will be a very, very, very limited stock of him will go online at the end of January.
Yeah, he was pre-order. We got a shit ton of pre-orders on him, so there's only going to be a few actual available.
There's literally a handful.
And again, you can't pre-order that. You just need to keep watching. Follow Nima Studios on Facebook and stuff.
Yep.
Keep checking on the website. Got a newsletter, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You can sign up, etc. I wrote everything at nimastudios.com. We'll be placing it up as soon as. We don't expect him to last very long. With this figure, though, again, I think we should end by saying we couldn't have made this happen without you guys.
Oh no, absolutely not.
You know, so we've got to say, as you know, as the kind of 2019 comes to a close, we've got to say thank you for the backing and the belief that you gave us in this. And if you keep backing us on this line, we will keep going. And we'll hopefully keep blowing your mind.
Yeah, and I got like 50 I want to do. So,
and if he's got 50, then I've got 100.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wicked. So for now, all figured out, show and tell, the brand new Nima Studios line. I'm Theo Kane, that's Nick. Catch you in the next one when we talk about this guy. But for now, we're done. Boom.